Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamakua Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today we are back with another contribution to Fermented February. If you have not heard already, Fermented February is a collaboration put on by my sister Anna over at the Fermented Homestead. It is not only sponsored by Anna, but it's also sponsored by Haas Tools. Fermented February is a collaboration where one of these awesome channels that have all been invited to participate are showing you and learning alongside with you how to ferment. These channels range anywhere from brand new newbies all the way up to well-seasoned fermenters that have been fermenting for years. There's something to learn for everybody. There are live giveaways that Anna is doing on her Monday night lives, and also again on March 1st, and that's going to be the big giveaway, which, like I said, is also sponsored by Haas Tools. So be sure to check them out. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. And the way that you can enter to win these prizes is just to leave a comment. So go back, check out all the previous videos that have been put up in February and also the ones that are still to come. Leave a unique comment, and that in itself is an entry to win one of these great prizes. Today, we are going to be starting a process that is going to take about 3 weeks. We are making Fermented Jalapeño Hot Sauce. It is quite obvious by the crutches, I have sprained my ankle, so that just means that I have extra time to spend with you guys at home. Win-win situation. Today's recipe is super simple, and it just requires a few ingredients: jalapenos, garlic, salt, and water. Once again, I am getting my recipe out of this book that I can't seem to put down, Can It and Ferment It by Stephanie Thoreau. You guys should definitely check it out. I'll leave a link down below. So I think we're gonna wanna go ahead and stack them in our jar, just the same as we would do with like green beans or carrots or anything else when we're pickling them or fermenting them. So I'm putting kind of some of the bigger sides on top and then some of the bigger sides on bottom to just kind of make them sit in there a little bit level. Basically, the goal is to fit as many jalapenos in our quart jar as we can, leaving a 1 to 2 inch headspace. I might not have enough jalapenos, but it'll be okay. You can cut them in half or you can keep them whole. The recipe in the book says to go ahead and cut the big ones in half just to make as much fit as possible. I just got that one stuck. So far I'm cutting up all of them actually. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Now I'm kind of sticking them in the jar amongst the other ones, but a little bit higher up, but it's still leaving plenty of headspace for our weight that we're gonna put on top. I'm sure that you guys had learned that already through Fermented February. That one's going on its side. It's the perfect amount of jalapenos. Okay, so I failed to put in the garlic. I just have a jar of jalapenos, so let me get that garlic cut up real quick. I think this looks like a good amount of garlic. The recipe says to do 10 cloves, and a lot of these are very large cloves, so I think we're gonna just go with that. We don't have to do anything. We don't gotta chop it. We don't have to dice it, nothing else. All we have to do is smash it, peel it, and put it in the jar. By the way, this rag underneath my wooden cutting board is a great tip. Came to me by one of our viewers. Thank you for that. It is working excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of these jalapenos out because I already jam-packed this jar and I just don't feel right about it. So I'm gonna take some of them out and make some room for these garlic cloves. I'm gonna take a lot out, actually. That's okay. We're all learning together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shove the jalapeno down inside in between the garlic. I'm gonna shove the garlic down in between. Got a couple of really big ones. And of course the texture of the jalapeno doesn't matter. So if you kind of beat it up a little bit, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. Just squish it all in there. This is what we're looking at right now. It's not evenly dispersed so much, but there's some on the bottom. But I think that's okay. I'm gonna tuck these last little garlics into their little home and try to get the rest of these jalapenos in here, and we'll go ahead and get started on our brine. I figured since I am sitting right here with you guys, I would go ahead and explain exactly what I'm doing and the equipment that I am using. Just a simple quart jar. I definitely chose to use a wide mouth on purpose because I wanted to be able to shove all of those jalapenos and garlics down in there. I'm using 3 cups of water that I'm going to dissolve our salt into, a simple canning ring, a pickling puck. This is very, very handy and helpful. And also I'm going to be using a pickling pipe. So basically it's really simple. We are going to take our water, dissolve our salt, pour it over our brine, and we are going to put in our pickling puck. Make sure that there's no floating seeds or anything of the sort. Then our pickling lid, pickling pipe, and seal it up with our canning lid. And that's it for right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave this baby on the counter. Make sure that it is checked on every day. Make sure that it doesn't have any issues. And the book says that it's gonna be 3 weeks. Hang tight. It has been 3.5 weeks since we started our jalapeno ferment. And the instructions in the book say after 3 weeks to go ahead and taste the brine. And if it doesn't have enough flavor, let it ferment longer. So today we are going to test our brine. Take our pickling puck out. It does have a bit of calm yeast on it. It's got some serious flavor. Serious. I want to try it again. Clean spoon, of course. Never double dip when it comes to fermenting. Cheers. It's so good. It's spicy, not overly spicy. You guys know me, I'm kind of a spice wuss. But it has such a strong fermented flavor that just mixes so well with the spice. I wasn't sure if we were gonna be making our sauce today or not. I thought we might ferment it longer, but it's ready. It tastes amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, get the equipment, whatever we need to do, and we'll go ahead and make our sauce. Okay, so I'm thinking that this process is going to be relatively simple. I shouldn't say that, should I? Anyways, all we need is a food processor, a strainer, and a cheesecloth. Seems pretty easy. Let's get started. All right, so the first step, we're going to drain the brine out of the jar, leaving the jalapenos inside. I am going to use my canning funnel and put the brine into another mason jar, just because that seems like a simple way to do it. So I'll bring you down and show you. That's the calm yeast. A little powdery whiteness on top. All right, so now we have our jalapenos with our garlic in here and our brine in here. We're gonna reserve that one for later. All right, so now we need to go ahead and put our jalapenos into the food processor. That's the yeast at the bottom. Perfectly healthy. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh wait, the recipe said I need to put a quarter cup of brine in with it. That did not puree as much as the recipe wants it to, so we're going to add another quarter cup of our brine. I'm trying to figure out if there's enough liquid in here, because it's the liquid that we're going to take out and make our hot sauce, not the pureed part. Kind of looks like it. I'm going to go ahead and add one more quarter cup of the liquid, the brine. It smells really strong. Alright, I think that's good. That, I think, is plenty pureed, and the next thing we need to do is just strain it out. We're going to separate the liquid from the solids. I said earlier cheesecloth, but the book doesn't use a cheesecloth. It uses a strainer just like this one, so we'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to use a mason jar because I have plenty of them and they work perfectly. And I'm going to go ahead and use our canning funnel too. Now, I know I say this in a lot of my videos, but this is my first time making this. We're experimenting together. I've never made any kind of fermented hot sauce, or any hot sauce at all for that matter that I can recall at the moment. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and start scooping. Let that liquid come out into the mason jar, and it does say that we can squeeze it or smash it down into the strainer. Oopsie. To help it along. This might be a timely process. Okay, well that wasn't too bad. That much pulp is left over from the 1/4 cup that I put in there. Let's see how much liquid we have. That's quite a bit. I'm satisfied with that. So I won't bore you guys with doing that same exact thing over and over and over again. I'm just gonna go ahead and push on and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. All right, well that didn't take nearly as long as I was thinking it would. We ended up with a 1/2 quart jar of our sauce. So now we're just gonna go ahead and jar it up. I saved these extra spice jars from previous times, hoping that someday I would make hot sauce. All right, now the tricky part here is going to be if I can manage to do this without spilling. All right, looks like I'm going to need another jar. All right, well, I will be the first one to admit this made a lot more hot sauce than I was thinking a 1/2 quart jar would be. This is 2 bigger ones, a medium one, a small cute little one, and another 1/2 medium, and a mess on the counter. Look at that. There's a beautiful rainbow outside right now. I had to just pause and take a look at that. Hello. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop the lids on. These ones have these cute little doodads on them. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this mess cleaned up and then we should do a taste test. Okay, sorry about that. My battery on my camera died, so we're switching over to the phone, but it's time for a taste test. The liquid coming out of this bottle style is very hard to keep it on the chip. It's very good. You can taste the garlic. You can, of course, taste the jalapeno, but it's the fermentation that's the flavor that kicks in really well. And I really think that that goes, the taste of the ferment goes so well with the spiciness. I really like it. I'm gonna try it again. It's not too spicy. It's delicious. I'm glad that we actually ended up with a lot more than I thought we were going to. I don't know what I was expecting out of a quart jar of jalapenos and salt, but that's what we got, and I am super happy about it. I am going to pop these in the fridge. I don't want them to continue to ferment on the counter. I don't know how likely that is, but I don't want it to mold or anything else. So I'm gonna pop these all in the fridge and try to use them up before anybody notices that they're taking up so much refrigerator space. And this has also encouraged me a lot. I feel like I can make a number of different hot sauces for sure. Sriracha is one of my very, very favorites, and I know that that's a whole nother ball game, a whole nother situation on how to ferment sriracha sauce, because there's only one true sriracha. But that might not stop us from trying in the future. And don't forget to head over to Fermented Homestead and also click on that link down below to check out Haas tools. I know it's kind of late in the month, but there are many, many videos for you to go back on, and make sure that you go ahead and comment on each and every one of them so that you can also enter to win a prize at the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Hamakua Homestead. I'll see you again soon.